Arsenal Fan TV, Chris, didn't see you last week, mate. When everybody was so peed off with the performance against West Ham, but great performance today. And well, you know what? It's about the 3 points today, and it was a massive 3 points.
Looks like we're staying up then.
No, love that chant today. We are staying up. It was brilliant.
Now I say that in jest because I think it's always such a massive overreaction whenever we lose a football game. I mean, people forget that we lost to Aston Villa a couple of seasons ago on the first day, and then a few weeks later we were top of the league, and then we were top of the league for the next 4 or 5 months. We should have even won that league. So there's a lot of strange results at the start of the season.
Why does it take us sometimes to have a poor performance to give us that kick? I mean, these guys are professional. They need to be like how they played today. Be like that every week. Yeah. How they started.
Well, I think what happened last week was we were just so complacent, and we started to believe our own hype, and we turned up to the game thinking we're just going to, because we're Arsenal, we're going to win no matter what. And to be honest, most of the fans thought that as well. Turning up thinking it's going to be 4 or 5-0. But it shows you how.
I was one of them.
Yeah, but it shows you how competitive this Premier League season is going to be. When teams like West Ham are starting Payet and Palace have got Kabiyai, there's going to be no easy games. I know it's a cliche, but you look at any of the European leagues, and I think the Premiership is the hardest to win. I mean, in Spain, I see Real Madrid winning 7-0. Every other week. You don't get that sort of thing in Premier League. Every game is like a mini war, and I just think, we need to get our heads right, because that's where that was our downfall last season in some games as well, like Swansea at home and Sunderland at home. But today was a good win. The first half performance was very good. It was a bit nervy in the end, but ultimately just about deserved, I think.
And a great goal by Giroud. He had a lot of critics last week. Seemed to be the scapegoat last week for most of the fans, but he really came with a fantastic goal today.
Do you know what? There's 3 things that are guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Giroud being made the scapegoat when Arsenal lose. It's so predictable. And yes, he did miss a couple of chances, but he wasn't in goal. He wasn't playing in defence. It's just the whole team had a bad day. And Giroud, right, let's put this thing to rest. I'm fed up with it. I've talked about it last season. Let me just say one stat that should put it to bed about him compared to other strikers. He broke his leg last season. He scored 19 goals in 36 appearances. That's better than a 1 in 2 average, and that's without penalties. You tell me any other Premier League striker, Guerrero, Diego Costa, any supposed world-class strikers that outside of their penalties have got a record that matches up to that.
So then do you think then we need another striker like, we're talking about Benzema and guys like this. To be honest, right, if we don't get Benzema, I can't really see who else out there of the sort of level that we're looking for that's available that we can get. What's your opinion on it?
I say about Giroud, and that was an answer to your scapegoat question, but I do think that there is still issues for us up front. Firstly, because we do not score enough goals to win the Premiership. It is statistically proven over the last 20 years of the Premier League that the team that scores the most goals wins the Premier League, and we haven't scored enough over the last 10 years but Man City have been scoring at least 10 more than us every season. And at the end of the day, we haven't bought any outfield players this year, and so I don't see any reason why we're suddenly going to win the league without addition. And Giroud, he can't do it for 60 games on his own. He needs some support and also some competition. I don't class Theo Walcott as a direct replacement for him, and Sanchez, Welbeck are not, and Theo aren't natural born strikers. So we do need to sign someone. It's just to give the whole place a lift as well. I mean, you say Benzema, but I was also thinking Cavani, because that would mean that Claude could blame someone else when we don't win, and because Cavani's got the model looks, so that he could blame his hair and he's too busy looking in the mirror and stuff. But yeah, onwards and upwards. I think there's still room to be optimistic this season. Another statistic is that every full season of Arsenal Fan TV we've won a trophy, so I'm remaining upbeat.
Opta.
It relieves the pressure, but there's a lot of work to be done, and we mustn't just get carried away. As I say, one game at a time. Next week is going to be a really tough game. We've got to defend a lot better as well. We must, next week is going to be a real tough game.